Canadian agriculture is about to change, and not in a good way. In another video, I talked about how Canada's agriculture sector has been infiltrated. What we haven't looked at yet is who is actually behind this infiltration into Canadian agriculture. And I'm talking about a group who's introducing a new code of conduct to Canadian agriculture called responsible grain. Now, to build out some context, we should actually look at something called the Great Reset. We've all kind of heard about it, and if you haven't, there's lots of resources online to check it out. But essentially what it is it's a time in human history where everything's going to have a whole do-over. Professor Klaus is kind of the one pushing behind this, and he said, the pandemic represents a rare but narrow window of opportunity to reflect, reimagine, and reset our world. So there's a bunch of these globalists looking at this Great Reset. Now, who's in charge of the Great Reset? Well, the World Economic Forum. The World Economic Forum is an arm of the United Nations, which has been pushing Agenda 2030. So that's the new word everyone says, that's sustainability and equality for all. Well, there's going to be equality, everyone's going to be fucking broke. And sustainability is all the commoners will be able to sustain this elite lifestyle for them, not for yourself. There is a list of corporations that are all on board with the Great Reset. So, in case you're wondering, BASF is one, Bayer, Monsanto, they're in for the Great Reset, Cargill, Nutrien, Syngenta, they're all pushing for the Great Reset too. They are partners in the Great Reset. Just some notables, all the major banks in Canada are for this. SNC-Lavalin is in for this, of course, because they're super fucking corrupt. Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, of course. No surprise there. Moderna and Pfizer, the people vaccinating everybody in a global vaccination are partners in the Great Reset. They're fucking partners in the Great Reset, and they're injecting shit into your body. Go fucking hard, people. Vaccinate all you want. My body, my choice. Ontario pension plan? The fuck? Soros Fund Management, nobody's actually surprised with that one. He's a scumbag pile of shit. Got all his wealth by stealing money from dead Jews. Look it up. He admits to it. He even laughs. There's a shitload. But I mentioned just the agriculture ones for the most part, and then some ones I was a little bit... Anyway, what isn't in there, though, Ford, GM, FCA, which is Ram, Dodge, John Deere, all the ag companies, AGCO's not in there, New Holland, those guys, none of these manufacturers are in there. So that's something. Anyway, getting back, this Great Reset basically is a subsection of the UN 2030 agenda, the whole sustainability thing. So they're essentially acting as this kind of liaison between, a methodology to enact this. And that's what it is. So if you've looked at Agenda 2030, you'll see that it's sustainability, equality for all. But what they want to do is they want to control everything that goes on your land. All the chemicals you can use, your fertilizers, your breeding programs, what seed you can use. And it's also don't forget, it's going to be volume, what you're allowed to plant, how much, where, when, at what time. They'll also control the entire market. So all your market of grain, they will dictate who gets what. Because remember, this is all about equality. That's the whole point of this, is equality. So kiss that fucking shit goodbye. But who's in charge of the UN Food and Agriculture Program? China. So China runs the agriculture program. So China's ultimately behind this. Okay, so let's get back though. What does this have to do with responsible grain? We're all like, stop talking, you fucking loser. Well, yeah, I need to shave my face, and I might never get a job ever again after this, but fuck. Okay, so if you look at the people making the code of conduct, you'll see that they have something like, Ted Menzies is just, it says chair. And then we have farmer, and, a couple guys. Yeah. So it looks like these are just your wholesome, run-of-the-mill farmers. But that's not true. Now, Ted Menzies is the chair. And he was a farmer until 2003, and he stopped farming. He was a politician, an MP for the Conservative Party. He's from Alberta, and he was there from 2004 to 2011. After that, CropLife Canada gave him a job. He became the president and CEO of CropLife Canada. Now you'll see that there are other CropLife Canada people in the code of conduct that are in this program. There are 4 of them. There are four plus a past president of CropLife Canada. So there's a little bit of over-representation of CropLife Canada. Now, why is that important? Well, let's take a quick look. CropLife Canada is a subsidiary of CropLife International. Now, what has CropLife International done? Well, let me fucking tell you what they've done. Well, they've signed, as of October 20th, 2020, an agreement with the UN to push sustainability. So, the UN signed a deal with CropLife International, which CropLife Canada is pushing, which the chair for responsible grain is writing the code of conduct for, where there's government officials and there's more. Fuck, this is frustrating. This is all open source stuff. I didn't have to go anywhere. I didn't have to do any crazy investigations of any kind. It's all there. And, the CropLife people are telling you, well, read the stuff, and come into these meetings we're going to have. But, read the stuff. So if you just read through this stuff, I assume they're referring to the modules, but I always go right to the people. So it's easy to connect all these people. And there's more connections for people. I'll do another one on that. But, and you'll see that this is all run by government, basically. It's UN and Canadian government, the whole thing. It's a fucking joke. So what also have they done? Like, you have CropLife, you have these companies, that have access to tons of government money, tons of partner money, and Responsible Grain has what? A Twitter page? They don't even have a Facebook page. And all these companies that are involved, like, Alberta Barley and all these other guys, whoever they are, all the people involved, like, some of these people weren't even talking about this till Christmas time. They're not even talking about this. And they've known about this for a very long time, but for some reason they don't want you to know about this. There's something fucking weird going on about that. I do not like that, because this is an infiltration of Canadian agriculture, and it's done very, very sneaky. And they've left everything open. So if anybody wanted to look, they could. They just think you're too lazy to do it, or they think so little of you that they just don't care. And that's probably it. Because I'm a nobody. I'm no different. I'm just some guy that talks on a fucking phone, that helps farmer out. I love agriculture. I've grown up with it my whole life, from a family farm, all that good stuff. But, like, I'm not a PhD research person. I just said, boy, this seems pretty odd, because I signed up for the open meetings that they have, and it took 3 days for me to get an email back, but I've heard from many people that was the same thing that happened to them. But there's 95 people in it giving feedback on this. 95. There is nearly 300,000 people in Canada that work on farms. There is 205,000 farms in Canada. We're talking the people that are saying if this should go ahead or not in some form. It's voluntary, but it won't be for very fucking long, represents 0.003% of the population. That's all that knows about this. And if anybody cares about, democracy in Canada, or even knows history, the last bastion of hope in a nation is agriculture. Agriculture is the most important piece to infiltrate. And you go, well, okay, well, why? It feeds everybody. Everybody ingests food. Whatever's coming out of the ground, people are putting in their bodies. It is the life of society. And they seem to want to demean and demoralize farmers. Why? Because farmers are the most important sector of any country. Any country. Import all the food you want. If there's no agriculture, that country's fucked. It's broke. You need agriculture as that you need to be able to feed your country in the very least, or there's nothing there. And you look through history, you look at the Bolshevik Revolution. What they go after right off the bat? Agriculture. Look at the famines that have happened in the 20th century. They all go after agriculture. It's, like, that not a lot of them are man-made. And what did China do? They just emptied all their stockpiles. They're doing this whole preparing for war thing. They're basically, they've infiltrated everybody. They've been trying to take over North American agriculture for decades, and they admit to it. And there's a press briefing about this. So I'm rambling on, and I think a lot of people actually do know about some of this stuff, and I think a lot of people don't know about this stuff. And it takes a lot of time to do this. It's very difficult, and this is all open. This is all in the open. Everybody can find this. I just put together a video. I used, prehistoric tools I've been given by society to compile this. And we have to understand, you just want people to know, because the world is fucked. It's a really wacky place right now. And there's no government for the people. It's against the people. Every time there's more hardships, there's more stringent lockdowns, and there's hydroxychloroquine. You can get it over the counter in Italy. They're giving people hydroxychloroquine. We don't hear about it here. There's a study at the U of A. Stop the study. Why? Well, because there wasn't enough COVID people for the study. Look it up. You can look this all up. This is all open source. God, I seem to read a lot, but it's because I'm very weary of what's happening, and it feels very strange. So there's a ton of other things. Look at the PCR test. And I know that everyone hears this shit and goes over it, but in the manual, it says that they're taking their best guess at how to test a positive for this. It says right in their manual. And that's what we're using as the gold standard, Anyway, I'm rambling off, which isn't good, because I want to stay on topic. But just know that there's more, and I'll do more videos, you guys. And everybody has access to this. Just because I do a video, don't wait for me to give you information. I'm getting the same information you are. I'm just compiling it into a video, and maybe I'll write the thing down so people can read it. But you read the same stuff, and don't you check everything that I'm saying. Go for it. Absolutely. Don't depend on me. The fuck am I? This studio. Who stacks two shelves? That's fucking gay. Gay in the slang term. I'm taking that shit back. It's funny. I implore people to push back against this. Do your own research. Reject this code in everything that it stands for. Essentially, we've spotted the wolf in sheep's clothing. And perhaps those sheep all around the wolf weren't sheep, but fucking lions. Draw the line. It's a wicked shirt. It's a wicked shirt. Man, it looks good. All right. Don't Clinton me. Just a guy. I'm very happy. I love my family.